to transport the obelisks. But London was unenthusiastic, and the obelisk remained in the squalor of Alexandria until 1877, when it was finally transported to London on the initiative of Wilson, a wealthy businessman. The 70-year delay was entirely due to British government disinterest, despite renewed invitations from both Muhammad Ali and his successor. Only when a Greek landowner threatened to cut up the obelisk for building stone did private initiative save from destruction, which is now known as Cleopatra's Needle. So they was raping all of them artifacts up out of Kemet, up under the air, up under Islam. Nigga, get up out of here. Islam ain't did nothing to Africa but raping. I'm just going to be real. The brothers and sisters that are part of Islam are good brothers and sisters. What they bring to them is what they bring to Islam and them other religions is the African spirit that existed in all of us before we even had a religion. So they bring some goodness in it because we are the children of God. And so we're going to bring some goodness to anything we're a part of. But the overall package of Islam is a slave religion. It came into it when our history opens up with Islam, Bilal is a slave. If Islam viewed ancient Egypt as a Muslim state, why do they desecrate the mummies in the manner that they do? Here it is. See how they put our ancestors out on display like that? That body supposed to be in the ground. They forever digging our ancestors up out of the ground. That's how you know it don't belong to them. Because nobody will do their own people that way. They hoping they can find one of them gold masks again. Another tomb with a lot of gold. They hoping. But we look at this low-life peckerwood, taking a picture of our ancestors. Somebody should come out the side and just knock his damn teeth out of his mouth. Just blow his damn mouth out. The hell is you doing? Taking, I mean, that's just desecration. That's all it is. Look at that. Even got the babies on display. They have, there's no level that they won't go to. So here it is. This is what Islam has done for Africa. Put our ancestors' bodies on display. Now here we go with Elijah Muhammad. I don't have to attack Elijah Muhammad, because the one thing about Elijah Muhammad is that he says this. Elijah Muhammad said that the Quran is perfectly pure. I didn't already crack that with Jesus. That's gone. That's over with. I cracked that with Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, which is Asa, Aset, and Hebrew. We ain't even got to go no further. Right there we can crack that egg right on open. This is what Elijah says in the message of the black man on page 59. On visiting with a couple of my sons in what they call the Near East in 1959, I began in Turkey. He begins in Turkey. Why does he begin in Turkey? Because Farah Muhammad is a pan-Islamic nationalist. If you look up pan-Islamic nationalism, look it up on the internet. The holy land for that movement is Turkey. It emanates from Turkey. That's what it is. It says, I began in Turkey. We traveled from Turkey down to Africa, to Ethiopia and to Sudan. So what I'm saying is, why does a man who comes from North Carolina and Detroit just take a trip to Turkey? Why does he go to Turkey? Because his master was in Turkey. And that's why they fly the Turkish flag. If it's walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. That's all it is. It's Turkish Islam. Right here, the glorious Holy Quran. Where is it at? I think it's on the second page. Right here. The Quran, it is called the glorious Quran and without mistake. I'm going to go down here. Let me go. I think it might be on this next page. Yeah, it might be on this one. Next. Man, we have no doubt the Holy Quran is from the Lord of the world. It is one of the cleanest books you have ever read. The God that revealed the Holy Quran Sharif to Muhammad is the same that revealed the scriptures to the other prophets. So he said that Allah also gave the Torah to Moses and also the gospel to Jesus. That cannot be true because there is no Jesus. We already cracked that. We only need one crack, and that's been cracked. How can God have given them that book when we can clearly see where the 10 Commandments come from, the 47 negative confession? We understand that we can go into our creation story, which existed before the Hebrews' creation story. We had all of this before them. So you cannot say God gave you none of them laws. Them laws existed in Africa thousands of years before any of them books came into being. So it's been cracked. I don't have to go in. And a lot of people thought that I was going to slander Elijah. I ain't got to slander. All I have to do is ride that one concept. And that cracks it all. It is not perfectly pure. It has been tampered with. Anything that man has put his hands on is impure. Anything man has put his hands on is impure. So now they'll be Africanized and kin. You know, this is the original Tutankhamun. This is the newest piece of bullshit that the Arab did put up. See, this is what Islam is doing to our damn history. What the black Muslim got to do is he got to fire off on that Arab for keep fucking over our history. We ain't gonna give you no slack. That's what the black Muslim got to do. He got to call that Arab Muslim out for putting our ancestors on display like that. Think they're gonna do it? Think they're gonna do it? No. Okay, so you don't say we gonna all unite. Because we can't unite. Because it's certain things that your religion requires you to do that you're gonna do over us being an African people. You're not gonna unify first.
Put it down.
So what we supposed to do is submit, like they've been trying to make us do for the longest. Saying Seti started. No, goddammit, them Arabs started it when they brought their filthy asses into Africa because we did not ask them to come. So whatever we put on your ass, you deserve it.
That's right.
Get your ass out of our land right now today.
Black power.
And if Black Islam can't do that for us, to hell with Black Islam. I'll say it. Now, big Black Islam want to ride with us to get the Arab up out of our land, we'll ride with Black Islam. But if Black Islam will ride with their cracker Arab slave master in the colonization and the imperialism of Africa, you my goddamn enemy. And I'm going to bang on your ass until I go in the ground. Ain't got to clap. We want to be hard here today. Black and white. White means death. Look at that ugly white witch. Every time they put some white on it, and they put them little blood drops and shit down their mouth. The black woman is divine, sacred and divine. Black is the color of divinity. It got sustenance. It can create something. That cracker can't do nothing but die. The rape of the Holy Family. I'm going to go over it again and again. We can easily see that Mary and Jesus is the rape of a Seti and Heru. You can easily see the rape of the architecture from the Nile Valley. Now let's go in the book of the day. I want to deal with some of this homosexual garbage that people is practicing. Now if you come down in this particular per Heru, number 27, hail thou whose face is turned backwards, you didn't turn backwards, who cometh forth from the dwelling, I have not committed acts of impurity, neither have I lain with me. It's in the Persian Hebrew. So take your homosexual ass out of our culture talking about homosexuality was a part of ancient Egypt. That's a bunch of bullshit. You just a fag. You just a lesbo. You're just a homosexual, backward ass individual, and you want to justify why you going up in somebody's record. That's all you're doing. You want to justify why you're creating a genocide, why you're practicing a genocidal habit and characteristic. You just want to justify it. So I can prove right there in the Per M. rule that homosexuality was one of the 42 negative confessions. A lot of people will edit that out. When you get there, they put something else in place. But that's the original translation, that I have not lain with men and also women. But here you go, Jesus is a homosexual. Right. See, the white man is a homosexual. That's how you know that he created Jesus. Look at him. This is his favorite beloved disciple, Joseph. Take his name, Joseph. And he always laying on you. That's pedophilia. An older man and a younger boy. Look at that shit, man. It's wicked. But that's what you're dealing with. So when you worship Jesus, you worship a homosexual God. So go to church Sunday, put your little money in there, but remember what I told you. If I catch you sneaking out the back, I'm going to see you. And you know what I'm saying? That's it. I see your ass coming out to church. I see you. See right there? Jesus is the God of facts. Jesus, see that? They doing the same thing. Look at that shit, man. I can't even conceive it, man. I don't even believe. I had to put it up there, man, but this shit is a trip. Because I can't even believe, man, that we even looking at some individuals do some shit like that. See that? But the Arab is also the same way. He's a white man. Kissing them boys in their damn mouth. There it is. They faggots because they're white people. There it is. He grown up and he can't get over it. Still kissing. There it is. Don't be kissing no man. Don't even get near a man's face. You know what I'm saying? When I hug a nigga, I try to hug him like this. You know what I'm saying? Turn the other way. You know what I'm saying? Stay out of a man's face like that, man. Because you don't know, man, a lot of these people is undercover faggots. And if they undercover faggots, that means they've been doing things they ought not be doing, and a herpes might jump on your face. A herpes might jump on your face. Look at this. Catholic Church shaken by sex scandals. This right here shows you that this is the same mind that created that. The same mind. And see right here, look at him. He cringing. He don't know which one of them he gonna hit first. He can't make his mind up. And so when you see right there, he's hugging it. It's the same damn thing. He's hugging his legs and all up under the man. Homosexual religion. Now look at that. See how he always lay on him? See, he feeding that man. You don't feed no damn man like that. That's crazy as hell, family. Now, look at this. See this? Disagree. See his phallus? See his phallus? It's hard. He's about to climb up on him and get on top of him. So symbolically, when you put your child on Santa Claus, that's the symbolisms of right there. That's that love of boys. The love of boys, man. That's what the white man worships, the sex of little boys. And so you see this big dumb fatty. Stupid dumb ass fatty. Go sit this dumb, stupid ass. Man, I wish I had a flamethrower. I just burn their ass up. You know, set their ass on fire. Cook their ass. That don't make no sense. That they put that shit. And when they put it out there, y'all should see that he's the author of it. The faggot is the author of that religion. And so now you see Jesus right there, a homosexual deity. Every statue you see of this boy, he's always laying on him. And it comes from they Greco-Roman origin. They're homosexual family. How does that end up in the Quran? I could stay with that all day long. How does Jesus end up in the Quran? If they hadn't influenced by the Roman Catholics. Why would they be praying to Jerusalem if they had not been influenced by the Jew? So they cannot claim that they are no original origin and that no damn God handed them nothing. All of that is mentioned, copy and paste. That's all they doing. Again, I'm showing you the homosexual religion of Christianity and all the rest of it. You can take that home with you, and I know a lot of my people, they're going to be mad at me for putting that out there. There it is. There it is. That's Jesus and Joseph. That's the devil. And now they're doing it to our babies. Look at it. He done pimped that boy out. So that's why they mess our families up. So they can take our kids from us and put them in them adoptive agencies. And them white people gets our kids. And this is what they do to them. This is what they do to them. Okay, let me see where I'm at with this family. Now here's Easter. See Easter? Now see what you can't see? See this man, he got another fake phallus. He got one in his ass and one in his mouth. Now what y'all don't see in the back, you see them eggs?
I do see the eggs.
They represent testes.
Oh my God.
See that? That's the Easter egg. So don't let me see you niggas cracking no eggs this Easter. Now I done showed y'all this shit. So if I see you cracking the egg, nigga, I know what's going on. Huh? Stay your ass on where you at. Because that's what it is. It's testes. You see him right back there, family? Happy Easter. God damn, we have been enslaved. We have been enslaved, family. Let me go on. I'm going to go through these last books with y'all. Al-Islam, Christianity, and Freemasonry by Mustafa Al-Amin. Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire by Drusilla Dungy Houston, one of our warrior queens. What it says, among the Semitic peoples, herding is highly esteemed. This is from our queen, Drusilla Dungy Houston. The fact that the shepherds and swine herds were the lowest strata of Egyptian society proves they were not Semitic in origin. Exodus 13:26 says, Egyptians would not eat with Hebrews because they were shepherds who sacrificed beasts that were an abomination to the Egyptians. Wasn't no damn Semitics in ancient Kemet. Bottom line. So this nigga trying to say is Islam or African or a white Arab religion. I done busted that wide open. I done busted it because there ain't no Semitic. What is an Arab? A mixed breed. That's all he is. He's not no indigenous. It's only one race. That's the African. Everything else, a nigga put a spin on it. Put a cut on it. Arab. Arab what? Nigga, you ain't the original man. The Arab ain't the original man. So what is he? He's a mythological character that was created to keep from saying you are African. All this other shit. Don't want to be African. So he's an Arab. He's a Hebrew. Now, right here. Those who contend that the origin of the civilization of the Nile was from Asia should note that under the Asiatics, Egypt entered into the darkest periods of her history. Look it up. Look it up. The Hyksos, the Persians, the Arabs. They destroyed all our damn temples. They raped our tombs. They did nothing for African civilization but destroy it. Okay. Right here. This is another one from the Message to the Black Man. Right there it said, it is called the Glorious Quran without mistake. That is just what it is. This book is not from a prophet, but direct from Allah to Muhammad, not by an angel, but from the mouth of Allah. Cannot be. Cannot be. Because we done proven without a doubt that every concept that is in the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran was being practiced tens of thousands of years before any of those religions came into being. Flat out. How could Allah give Moses the Torah when he learned his education in Egypt. That the 10 Commandments is nothing but 10 that they took in from the 42 negative confessions. And if they was there for 420 years, and he was trained in the ancient culture of the Nile Valley, he had to see them 42 negative confessions. Bullshit. Don't say no, Allah gave you nothing, because he did not. We busted that. We didn't crack that open. So when we search for global African supremacy, it's Kemet. That is the greatest symbol of global African supremacy. This is where we was clicking on all levels, at the highest level we had ever clicked on this planet Earth. Government, sciences, mathematics, arts, the language arts, rhetoric, geometry, calculus, astronomy. All of this was created in Kemet. This is the blueprint that we got to lay down for our people. We cannot go in there talking about no damn Moses, no Abraham. That's nothing but bullshit. Straight up in the middle. 2010. We cannot go into 2010 with this bullshit. Nigga, either prove what you done with that shit thus far or throw it in the garbage. If Jesus can't come back right now and talk to me, nigga, don't come back. We want a new Messiah. Nigga, you ain't did what you supposed to do. Everything got a time. You just gonna just tell us anything? You just come when you want to? You just gonna come when you want to. We need you the most. We dying. Thousands and thousands of people dying every day, nigga. And you don't come when we need you. Stay your ass where you at. We need a new God. And that's what happens. And a lot of people don't understand. When people come to that concept, they change gods. Because this God is not working. Not doing nothing for us. Either somebody lying, this ain't our God, or somebody telling us a lie about what the original God truly told us, which is our mother. Which is our mother. A mother would never teach their child, man, to go through misery. My God want to see me on the throne. My God don't want to see me on the throne. He ain't my goddamn God. If I got to keep praying for him to come back, nigga, come back. We need you now. Shit. 2,000 years, he ain't got here yet. You know what, family? I'm going to get off into some politics so y'all can leave here with something. You can take it to me, black man. I'm done with that, up on the board. I just wanted to crack a hole in that. That was too easy. That was too easy. That's why I ain't want to debate. I called his ass up. I said, nigga, debate me now. We don't want to debate you. Because he know I'm going to wear his ass out. Let me get into some things. From Marcus Garvey. We got to go back to the master. We're going to try to get up out of this. Here we go. If the African were to live in this Western Hemisphere for another 500 years, he would still be outnumbered by other races who are prejudiced against him. He cannot resort to the government for protection, for the government will be in the hands of the majority of the people who are prejudiced against him. Hence, for the African to depend on the ballot and his industrial progress alone will be hopeless, as it does not help him when he is lynched, burned, Jim Crow, and segregated. The future of the African, therefore, outside of Africa, spells ruin and disaster. It spells ruin and disaster. We got to go back home. We ain't got no help over here, family. These damn immigrants is getting larger than we are. We done moved to Seti. You got to make your move. That's what happened in Kemet. They waited till them goddamn hit scores got in there too deep. And when they went to push them out, they was in there too deep. Couldn't get them out. Took them 400 years. We should have cracked their head early on. We did not. And that shit built up until it was nothing we could do about it. We dying over here. We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it over here. So a lot of people, what we got to understand is some of us got to colonize, which means half of us in here just split. Say half go to Africa, half stay here. The half that stay here runs the operation here. The half that goes to Africa runs the operation in Africa. And then we build like that. we have to get over there and get some people on the ground that can talk to our brothers and sisters, so we know who we dealing with, who's in these. If we go to a particular country, we need to know the different ethnic backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, the different tribal backgrounds that are in those lands. Find out the origin of it, the history of it. See who's struggling against one another. You got to know all of that. You got to know the ground. Get some brothers and sisters over there that will do that go strictly to get that information. You understand what I'm saying? Bring it here. We use it. We can build companies over there. The dollar's a little stronger over there. Don't wait till the shit collapse when it ain't worth nothing. Right. Take the little garbage ass white cracker dollar over there, use it for what it's worth. Build some communities over there. You understand what I'm saying? And then once they get used to us, what we trying to do, then they'll say, well, they truly about Africa. But if you ain't doing, you ain't doing shit. They over there raping Africa, and so-called African Americans don't cry out. They over there raping the shit out of Sudan. And we don't say shit. But if you drop a damn, as soon as they send a Scud missile to Israel, that shit all over the news. We got to speak out against the damn rape of Africa. Stand on, let's throw rallies. To let our people, as long as they say damn, they rallying for us. They do love us. God damn it, if you over here, you living in this Peckerwood system, you benefiting from America. If you benefiting from America, you are helping the white man to rape Africa. Bottom line, if you go to that goddamn liquor store down there and buy anything out that Arab store, you are helping that Arab to rape Africa. Because he's sending all that money back over there to buy arms, tanks, and shit to roll over our people. So you're going to have to learn how to do without that shit in that Arab store. I know we ain't got no stores, but you got to wean yourself off of certain shit. The Reese Pieces, the Reese Cups, the Mountain Dews. I know I do it. Shit, the Arab rich off our ass by blunts alone. That's a fucking $100 million industry. Blunts. You understand that? They taking all that money overseas and they using it to fund the raping of Africa. So we got to stand up. We got to let these motherfuckers know that we ain't gonna just sit there and let them kill our goddamn mama. Y'all niggas got to boss up, man. I'm telling you what I know, or we're not gonna make it. That's just the bottom line. History has recorded, once a people have been removed from their root like us, historically, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it over here. History will record that our ass was swallowed up. That's what it's going to record. Because them damn Mexicans, them Indians, they're going to retake this land. Eventually. They're going to retake it. History is going to document that at one point in time. So since you know that it's going to happen, you got to build some colonies in Africa. Let's deal with this. Let's deal with this. We are determined to solve our own problem by redeeming our motherland, Africa, from the hands of alien exploiters and founding a government and a nation of our own, strong enough to lend protection to the members of our race scattered all over the world and to compel the respect of nations and races on the earth. To build our own, to have our own government. Because our people ain't got there's no hope over here for us. Our ass rot over here and blame it on us that we're underachieving. If the cracker owns everything, he knows who he gonna give a job and who he not gonna give a job. So he's already then pre-planned that our ass is gonna be walking around out here starving. And that's all you have to do is control the food source. Because once you control the food source, these niggas is gonna dance for every little crumb. They're going to dance for every little crumb. So right there, if you know that's what they're going to do, they can do that by starving our people. We got to take over the agriculture. We got to start there. Until we do that, nigga, Talking about Seti, what kind of movement we gonna do? We ain't gonna have no goddamn movement. You gotta feed the army. Shit, you gotta feed the army. Before you go to war, what you gonna eat? Y'all gotta get survival guides. Because your ass might have to flee from up here. That Harriet Tubman ain't just yesterday, that's today. Your ass might have to scoot up out of here. Because the same cracker that made her duck behind the trees and sneak our people in and up out of certain areas, that's the same cracker that's right out there right now. And you might have to run again. You got to know certain berries that you can eat, certain plants that you can eat, certain shit you cannot eat. So they got certain survival guides for any area that will tell you the vegetation in your area. That when you move in and out of certain areas, certain vegetation that's popular in certain areas. You got to know that. Shit, we up in in Michigan, it's still cold here. If these goddamn lights go out in the winter, because they went out in Detroit, New York, and Toronto about how many years? Was that 7, 8 years back? 03. They went out. Lights went out in Detroit, New York, and Toronto. Did they go out here? They went out here too?
Well, we get that every year though. Anyway.
How long was they out?
About 3 weeks or so.
The lights?
The lights in DC. Yeah, there was no electricity. They had us going getting dry ice for our refrigerators and everything. Yeah.
I know it was out 3 days in Detroit.
It was like 3 weeks. We messed up. It was going. It came on maybe after a week, went right back off for another 2 weeks. People were just out here. But it's in certain parts though, south side.
But what I'm saying is in a cold climate like this, that shit go out in the winter, boy. We hit. But see, that's something we should, so now what do? We gotta bring that type of shit to the table. Quit talking all this, Jesus, nigga, come on. Them lights go out, ain't none of them gonna save your ass. You gonna starve out here. You gonna starve. That's what government is supposed to do for people. Supposed in case of emergency, that's what government, we don't got nobody looking out for us, fam.
That's right.
So we got to go back to Marcus Garvey. We got to study what does it take to make a nation. And then we got to start, even if we just start reading books and start studying each particular department and start building the knowledge. So, you know, if something pop up, we at least have some type of ideas of what's going on. Because if we do not do it, we have no hope. So it's about the blueprint for global African supremacy. That we got to reach our hands across to Africa, and they're going to reach their hands back. They ain't got no damn choice, because they just in even worse condition than we are. They need help. They got all them Uncle Tom niggas over there that's working for the cracker. I got some videos that's from Africa that's straight up showing how they kill it. I mean, like somebody had a camera hiding behind a damn house showing how they shooting our people down. And it's violent, because it show their heads busting open on the screens. You know, how they shooting them and their heads just busting open like watermelons. Man, there's some foul shit going on in Africa. So that's the message of today. We must organize. We must unify under our race, under being black. You understand what I'm saying? Black first. Leave all them religions behind. Practice it at home. But when you come out, unite under being one African people. So I thank y'all, my DC family, for inviting me out again. Black power. Black power.
Hotep, y'all remain seated. It's not over yet.
Out of nowhere, Pinhead will call them. You know, bring the chain, and the chains will be coming out all out the sky, hitting these people in the face, hooks, and pulling their face like that. They still doing it, family. See them chains right there? Them is the chains that drug James Murray. Huh? See it? See it? Huh? That was a Kabbalistic ritual. See it? Those are the chains that drug our brother and dismembered his body. They was doing that in slavery, family. I'm sorry. That's Kabbalism. So this is what I took up out of the, this is up out of the 5th and 6th books of Moses. That's one of those diagrams. And this particular demon, Mephisto, that's a demon. You could go look it up. Mephisto, he's a demon. See that? See that diagram in the middle? See the square inside of the circle? That right there is the box for hellraiser. It's a square with the circle. Now it's going to switch a little somewhat, but it's the same thing. I'm take it back. See it? There it is. That's who Pinhead is, Mephisto. He's a demon. He's a white demon that they call up. And so, I'm sorry, family. I'm going to go 100 on this one. That's what it is. It was an early shrine to Kabbalism. I'm sorry. Most Muslims will tell you that they was pagan and heathens before Muhammad. That they had them idols in there. That's what they was practicing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, family. And so the reason why that he has a veil over his face. This is the reason why he has the veil over his face. Because if they show what was up under it, that's what it would be. That's what it would be. That's what it would be. There's no reason for you not to show his face. There's no reason for you to not show his face. A lot of this was added. A lot of this was added. A lot of them Kabbalists added a lot of this information. They hide a lot of the information. When you go off in the Bible and it's talking about beasts that got 12 heads and shit, that shit is in Kabbalism. You can go into them Kabbalists and they'll have the actual drawings just like you seen the other one. And they would draw that shit on the ground and they would do their rituals on that particular drawing. That's what Kabbalism is. One form of it is the Ouija board. That's one form of Kabbalism. So there it is, family. So Jesus is Serapis. Jesus is Mohammed. Jesus is Zoroaster. Jesus is Zeus. All of them white deities is the same deity. Now look at this. Where that sword at? Woman's sword. Now you see this deity in India? See his tongue sticking out? That's Bes. You can even see the beard. That's Bes. Bes is the oldest deity on the planet Earth, representing the 12. They come up out of Central East Africa. We can show that the Nile Valley was all over the planet Earth, man. It's the oldest religion by far that can be documented without no problem. Now, remember we said Aleister Crowley brought Satanism into rock and roll. See that white boy from Kiss? See that? They got that from India. See them like Madame Blavatsky, just like Noble Jew Ali. That's why he had on that Indian uniform. Because they was into that theosophy. What Madame Blavatsky is in is called theosophy, and Aleister Crowley was also a theosophist. And so their headquarters was in India, and that's why he got his tongue sticking out like Catholic. That's because they was getting that from them theosophists from out of India. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. And so now you got Gaddafi over the head of the African Union. That's no different than the white boy Farad over all black nation, or where it was all black. They got crackers in the Nation of Islam today. That's right. When we was in New York, they even had bodyguard. The cracker that was taping it down for the Muslims was a white boy. He was a stone cold white boy. It was at least 3 white boys on the front row and 1 white boy up in the FOI. We was watching. And I'm looking, and the little white boy, when we got ready to do our thing, about, got chest to chest with him, I looked up and I seen him acting like he was coming out. Man, please. If that cracker would have touched me, I would have came back there and shot every nigga in there. You gonna put some crackers over us? That's right. To boss up on us? How is they gonna come put some crackers in the FOI and have these crackers thinking they're gonna boss up on us? Nigga, y'all looking to be sprayed. Nigga, we ain't going for that. That's right. And I seen the little white boy. I'd have whooped that white boy ass. I'd have crushed that white boy like he gonna come out. Nigga, please.
Ride with you, Seti.
Ride with me, brother. I'll ride with you. So you look at right here, this is Gaddafi. This is who Farrakhan got his loan to start the Nation of Islam with. Right there. Again, pay attention. When y'all see these, look at the hand. See that? He's a Mason. Get out of here. Now these are the Turks that came into Egypt. That's Howard Carter. There you go right there. The Turk and the British working side by side. If you go into some of the older maps, it might say Anglo-Egyptian or Anglo-Ottoman. You'll see. That's the Anglo is the English. So that's that union that they got. So, see right there, they're going down into the tomb. Thieves in the temple. Anglo-Islamic conquest of Africa. They went right in there and raped Africa. See that? They all in the damn tomb. Right there, they're your Muslim Arab, and they're the white British Howard Carter. How about we excavate Muhammad's tomb? See, now if I see that, Muslim ready to fight. But they all down in our ancestors' tomb raping. That's right. Trying to get the gold up out of there. Nothing but thieves. Right there, standing outside the tomb. Posing. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about our ancestors. They wouldn't go rape Muhammad's tomb, Abu Bakr's tomb, Umar the Great's tomb. They don't care about us people. And so, right there, you notice the fez, the choice headdress of the Arab enemy of Africa. The obelisk once marked the entrance to the Luxor temple. The viceroy of Egypt, Muhammad Ali, offered the 3,000-year-old Luxor obelisk to France in 1831. He tore that down, man. Muhammad Ali, he was a Turk, and that's why the Nation of Islam's flag is a Turkish flag. And that's why he named Cassius Clay Muhammad Ali. Can't get away from that. The Nation of Islam's flag is a Turkish flag. It's just turned the opposite way. And I got some things from, it's just like Deuce Muhammad Ali in the UNIA. If you go back to Arlene, where I debated Arlene, Marcus Garvey kicked his ass up out of the UNIA for reporting to Turks and Egyptians. The Turks was in charge of Egypt at that time. He kicked Deuce Muhammad Ali ass out of the UNIA for that reason. The Turkish Islam was the dominant Islam of that day and age. So basically all Islamic organization came up out of the Turkish state. That's why they flying that flag. And so The Rape of the Nile by Brian Fagan, he gonna tell y'all. The hour produced the man, a ruler who had a catastrophic effect on the archaeology of ancient Egypt. Muhammad Ali was a Macedonian orphan who rose to powerful commands in the Turkish army in Egypt through sheer ability. Let me go on. But the Pasha was friendly towards foreigners and did a great deal to open up the Nile Valley, not only to merchants and diplomats, but also to the casual tourists and dealers. And what matter if many of the visitors who were interested in antiquities and ransacking ancient tombs. To a despot ruler interested in international power and foreign capital, the monuments of ancient Egypt were of little interest except as a diplomatic lever or a way of keeping powerful visitors with strange hobbies interested in Egypt. Soon Egypt was being stripped of thousands of portable antiquities by a steady stream of collectors, dealers, tourists, and just plain shady characters who saw a chance for a quick profit from the antiquities trade. The British occupation force arrived early on the scene, the Earl of Carvan took a fancy to one of the obelisks of Alexandria and obtained a permit from the Turkish authority to remove it to London as a memorial to the British victories in Egypt. The soldiers themselves were enthusiastic about the scheme, so subscribed money for a ship and volunteered their labor to transport the obelisk. But London was unenthusiastic, and the obelisk remained in the squalor of Alexandria until 1877, when it was finally transported to London on the initiative of Wilson, a wealthy businessman. The 70-year delay was entirely due to British government disinterest, despite renewed invitations from both Muhammad Ali and his successor. Only when a Greek landowner threatened to cut up the obelisk for building stone did private initiative save from destruction, which is now known as Cleopatra's Needle. So they was raping all of them artifacts out of Kemet, up under the air, up under Islam. Nigga, get up out of here. Islam ain't did nothing to Africa but raping. I'm just going to be real. The brothers and sisters that are part of Islam are good brothers and sisters. What they bring to them is what they bring to Islam and them other religions is the African spirit that existed in all of us before we even had a religion. So they bring some goodness in it because we are the children of God. And so we're going to bring some goodness to anything we're a part of. But the overall package of Islam is a slave religion. It came into it, when our history opens up with Islam, Bilal is a slave. If Islam viewed ancient Egypt as a Muslim state, why do they desecrate the mummies in the manner that they do? Here it is. See how they put our ancestors out on display like that? That body supposed to be in the ground. They forever digging our ancestors up out of the ground. That's how you know it don't belong to them. Because nobody will do their own people that way. They hoping they can find one of them gold masks again. Another tomb with a lot of gold. They hoping. But we look at this low-life peckerwood, taking a picture of our ancestors. Somebody should come out the side and just knock his damn teeth out of his mouth. Just blow his damn mouth out. The hell is you doing? That's just desecration. That's all it is. Look at that. Even got the babies on display. There's no level that they won't go to. So here it is. This is what Islam has done for Africa. Put our ancestors' bodies on display. Now here we go with Elijah Muhammad. I don't have to attack Elijah Muhammad. Because the one thing about Elijah Muhammad is that he says this. Elijah Muhammad said that the Quran is perfectly pure. I didn't already crack that with Jesus. That's gone. That's over with. I cracked that with Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, which is Asa, Aset, and Hebrew. We ain't even got to go no further. Right there we can crack that egg, right on open. This is what Elijah says in the message of the black man on page 59. On visiting with a couple of my sons in what they call the Near East in 1959, I began in Turkey. He begins in Turkey. Why does he begin in Turkey? Because Farah Muhammad is a pan-Islamic nationalist. If you look up pan-Islamic nationalism, look it up on the internet. The holy land for that movement is Turkey. It emanates from Turkey. That's what it is. It says, I began in Turkey. We traveled from Turkey down to Africa, to Ethiopia, and to Sudan. So what I'm saying is, why does a man who comes from North Carolina and Detroit just take a trip to Turkey? Why does he go to Turkey? Because his master was in Turkey. And that's why they fly the Turkish flag. If it's walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. That's all it is. It's Turkish Islam. Right here, the glorious Holy Quran. Where is it at? I think it's on the second page. Right here. The Quran, it is called Hebrews was worshiping the African woman when they left Kemet, Tamar. Right there, the golden calf. And so, again, you see that? See that crescent? How they rule. That's how they rule. That's how they rule. That's how they rule, God. That's the black woman. That's what was in the land before. That's Ishtar, which is how they rule. It was in the land before Allah. It was in the land before Allah. Now, do y'all see it right there? Can y'all see it? Can y'all see it? See the horns? See the sun disc? I'm going to put it in there for you. See that right there? See that? There it is. That's your one world. They use all these symbols, you know, and you don't understand the symbol. But once you go back to the metal nether and you study the metal nether, you're going to see it in everything. Because that was the mother language of all languages. It's the mother science of all science. So everything that exists today is a downgrade from the metal nether. So you see right here, Tahuti. See the crescent? See the sun? You can't say it started with Islam. Can't say it started with Judaism. Can't say it started with Christianity. These universal symbols was with our people forever. It was with our people forever. You cannot start there. It's all our history, family. You know, don't fight it. It's still our history. And so you see it there. You see it here. And you see right here, our people's worshiping the sun and the stars. Right here. Not worshiping, but praying accordingly to the order of things. There's an order in the universe that should not be usurped. A penis going to vagina. In agreement? I have to ask now. It's 2009 going to 2010. Y'all might not agree. You just might not agree. Now, I'm about to get sticky now. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm about to get sticky. See? You see the crescent? You see the star? I'm going to lead y'all down this road. They got a cultural origin. They come out of that cold climate. That's why they replaced the moon, the sun, with the star. Because they moved at night. That's all it's saying. And so you see Santa Claus, what time do he move? He moves at night. He moves at night. He's a moon deity. That's what he is. He's a moon deity. Now, you see that? Same symbols. Same symbols. They're interchangeable because they come from the same origin. Now you see that? That's the devil's pentagram. See it? That's the star. Now let's work with me now. You ain't gonna like it. I got off into it with the Moor Science Temple. I proved that they were occultists. The Adept Chamber, messing around with Madame Blavatsky, a Jewish witch.
That's right.
That's all she was. And so when they go into the Adept Chamber, that's where they going. Okay, then. I know you don't have me revisit that debate. And so you see right here, it's Kabbalism, where they write all that shit in them pentagrams and put candles all over the diagram and call on certain demons. Certain demons, and even got angels mixed in. Got God mixed in with the devil, and they calling on them. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See him standing in a Masonic stance? Right there with the Quran in his hand. See the Masonic stance? That's the Masonic stance.
45 degrees.
See it? Holding the Quran. Cannot serve two masters now. Because you're going to love one and hate the other. So what one do you follow? Which one do you follow? See them? See them with their... All of it come out of Kemet. But you see it? Man, they standing like peckerwoods. They take the same oath as the peckerwood. I didn't bring it. That's an actual fact. You don't like it, too damn bad. That's what it is. They was Masons, right along with the Quran, on top of something else. So you see this? Prince of Wales meets the leader of Nigeria, 70 Muslim. See that? I'm going to show it to you. 70 million. Nigeria has the largest Muslim population in Africa. Matter of fact, it might be one of the largest Muslim nations on the planet. I think behind maybe Indonesia. I think Indonesia got probably the largest Muslim population on the planet Earth. Nigeria is not far behind. Now watch this. Watch this. See? See that Masonic handshake? He's supposed to be a damn Muslim. He's supposed to be a Muslim. They down with the New World Order. Come here playing that shit with me. They trying to run our people into the ground. And they was always buddies before they even went into Africa. The white man and the Arab has been buddy-buddy for the longest. So there you see the Masonic handshake. Now, wait a minute, let me go back to that. I didn't even put that in there. But you see that the Star of David, that the Masonic symbols, if you outline the edges of it, it's nothing but the Star of David. They interchangeable. All of that shit is interchangeable. It comes from the same origin, family. So the Jew is he's the author of Masonry. I'm just gonna tell you flat out. The Jew is the author of every damn religion that exists today. Every one of them. Masonry, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, the Jew. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So a lot of people said that this right here, I don't know exactly the name. They try to say that's homosexuality. A lot of people try to say them two, they're supposed to be twins and that they kissing. But in actuality, what they doing is, let me go back. It's like me and this brother standing. And so he's not going to his mouth, he's going to his ear. And so they're trying to say he's kissing, but they're not. So you see right here where the Mason took the same stance, but he's going to his ear. He's whispering in his ear. These are brothers of the craft. You see that now? He didn't understand what it was. So he's going to kiss him in the damn mouth. He's going to go kiss him in the damn mouth. The Arab is a homosexual. And I'm just going to tell you that to you. I'm telling you to the bottom of my heart that it's a fact that they kiss each other. Nigga, don't get that close to me. In my mouth, nigga. If a man, I don't care who you is, don't make no mistake to kiss me. Don't even make them, don't even get that close. Because I'm going to hurt you. Now look at this. Now what you got to understand is Dracula. Come out of Romania. If you go back far enough, you'll understand that's Khazaria. Go get the 13th tribe. That's where that shit come from. Kabbalism. It came out of Khazaria. Before they became Jews, they was Khazar. That's where Sufism come from, which is the mystical form of Islam. That's where Kabbalism come from. They was all practicing that before they got a Quran, before they got a Torah, before they got a Bible. They was into that Kabbalism. This Khazaria. This is a smaller portion of it, but it came on around. This is Turkey, right here, all of it mixed. So you see right here, Madonna, who practices Kabbalah. See, this is the Kabbalah, this is Sufism. And you see the Sufis, they have that fez on their head, and they be high. They go take them a sniff of a hayride, and they spin. You see, they call them the twirling dervishes. And they just spin. You understand what I'm saying? And I guess they be so damn high, they don't even know they spinning no more. They just spin all up into the ninth ether.